All right, welcome back to Wise Up, episode 11, and happy Realignment Day.
Big day.
UIL just released their new alignments, and it's kind of a shakeup for some schools in Wise County.
Yeah, Mike has been excited about it all day. Been releasing beautiful charts, and some big moves. Starting off, Northwest is in kind of a brutal district.
Yeah, they took the jump to 6A and joined the other Northwest ISD schools with some
big
heavy
names.
hitters. in
Euless
there.
Trinity, LD Bell, Keller Central, Keller Timber Creek, Eaton, Byron Nussel got some Northwest ISD foes there, and then South Lake Carroll cap it off.
I think it'll be fun though. I think Northwest is such a great district, and I had fun covering their football games last year. But I think it'll be kind of a special maybe tradition going forward to you get to play those schools that are right next to you.
Your neighbors and kind of have that cross district or cross school district rivalry.
Yeah.
And then Decatur, not a bad draw for them. They're staying with Springtown.
Yeah.
But they get like all these Fort Worth schools, which have a checkered. They're not the best athletic programs.
They do a lot of good, but athletics is not the strong suit. And also, it's a good district, for Decatur to rack up some wins, it seems like, but it also is going to help us out with travel.
Yes.
We're not going to have to drive as far to cover these games.
And and I think once you get to the playoffs, it's not going to be, going basically to Western Oklahoma.
Right.
The Panhandle, basically.
But when we do get to region, it's also not a walk in the park like
no, it's
district
tough.
is.
It's kind of a double-sided coin here because their previous region was favorable, and now they're going to be playing the likes of Salina.
I think Alvarado as well. So it seems like kind of all roads to state are going to run through that Salina matchup. So it'll be interesting to see.
No, and I'm glad we retained in that Decatur Springtown rivalry. That's always a fun game, and that's going to continue. Not a lot of I guess there's a big change in Bridgeport. Brock.
Oh yeah. Brock took the jump from 3A to 4A Division II. So you're gonna be playing the Mighty Bulls.
It's gonna be a tough road. Still got Graham there, Berkman at Eagle Mountain, and Mineral Wells fills out that district, and then Boyd. The beneficiaries of Brock moving up to 4A are going to be Boyd and Paradise, who no longer have to face them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, another thing where two cross county rivals are staying together, but no Brock will help.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder. I'm always interested, like how when they're building these districts, like how much do they pay attention to like these historic matchups, or is it just like, yep, there's your draw. We're just gonna keep you together.
Yeah, they should have like a selection Sunday.
Like, oh, that'd be awesome.
Like committee
stream it on Facebook,
explaining their decisions and stuff.
Yeah,
think about it, UIL.
Or we could just have Micah do it in 2 years.
We'll do it on the podcast.
Yeah,
let us pick
all of the districts across Texas. Yeah.
So that kind of rounds it out for 3A. So that district's going to be, Boyd, Paradise, and then Bowie, Iowa Park, Peaster, Ponder, and Vernon. But that kind of rounds us out to, we got 3 2A schools now. We're going to have Alvord, Chico, and Slidell play each other in at least basketball.
Yeah, Slidell not quite, ready to make the full sports roundup as far baseball and softball and stuff like that, but it seems like they're just gonna keep growing, and they have a pretty good history of sports there in Slidell. So I imagine sometime in the near future, maybe not in this realignment, they'll have baseball or definitely not football, but gonna continue that basketball.
They've been adding some sports. I think they added powerlifting recently.
Yeah.
So they're kind of easing into it. I'm sure they're going to do that in a smart way to, not like totally blow up whatever programs that they already have going.
Yeah, try to field a football team of 20 kids.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do it. Yeah. So, definitely some interesting changes. Read more about it. This is kind of a little brief highlight. Mike has got apparently a mega story going out right now, with comments from coaches and athletic directors, just kind of how their takeaways from the change. So check that out. But I think another that'll probably be in next paper because the came out this morning. But something that we did get to cover in the paper was State of Wise.
Yeah, we're not just a sports paper.
Yeah.
We are a real newspaper. We have an A section, and
Yep.
on that front page is part 3 in a series of State of Wise, and I kind of tackled the health angle in Wise County, and it's interesting.
Yeah?
There's don't have the greatest health record, but I think people are aware of that. The accessibility to places to work out and exercise is not great. Doesn't compare very well to Denton and Tarrant County, and some of our leading causes of death are a little bit higher rates than the state. But in that same kind of overall survey of health in Wise County, respondents in the county basically were like, yeah, we're aware of the poor health record, and we're making strides to kind of improve on that. So, a lot of good being done to try to improve that track record, whether it be at our local gyms or, through mental health counseling or, assisted living for our senior population, which is super high. But, check that out to see how the health record is in Wise County.
Yeah, I think, sometimes statistics don't tell the, entire story. And I think that's why it's good to get to talk to some folks about it. And like the access to fitness facilities, that might just be like the nature of being in a more rural area where things are further apart. And there have I know so many cities are working on parks and trying to expand those offerings and stuff. And we've got a fitness park now in Decatur. So yeah, I think another part of that story that I found interesting, which is kind of the demographic trends and kind of how people are adapting to that. I think what was it? Around 20% are over 65 and up. 17%?
Yeah, I think 17% or 65 and older, and then that 55 to 64 age range is like 14.1%.
Yeah.
And I talked to some people that work at Governor's Ridge here in Decatur, and they actually said they're seeing, traditionally people in their 80s or 90s, that's when they're first being placed in the home, but people are aware of, they will deteriorate, like as far as, mind and body. So they're trying to get there earlier so they can establish themselves like in a community with friends. So I think that's good that people are kind of, taking a more like acute look at their health and the future of their health and kind of setting themselves up for some success. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to be a need, and whether it be on the business side or government agencies trying to meet that need of this large population that is going to need more assistance. And I think obviously once that day comes, and there will be changes and to adapt to meet those needs. But yeah, great job on that story. I enjoyed it. Had charts.
Yeah. we are the chart newspaper. So check it out. There's proof.
Table, chart. But yeah, one thing I saw scrolling across social media was kind of a sobering realization. We have some competition.
Yeah, we're
STEM Academy.
Not the only podcast. There are a few other podcasts around Wise County, but had a big dog step up in the podcasting space.
Huge threat.
It's the STEM Academy in Decatur.
These kids are smart.
Fifth graders are gunning for our jobs.
Oh man. Yeah, I know that the STEM Academy has been a big topic around town, and they got some good news. Like that's not going to be something on the chopping block, but which might be, they're also the Decatur Education Foundation gifted the I think it's fifth graders some podcast equipment.
You might call it a gift to them. I call it an attack on us. No, but I think it's cool. Obviously, like digital mediums are such an integral part of education, and it keeps going. The younger you get, the you'll have an iPad or whatever. So it's cool that they're getting these skills in the digital space that hopefully they can not take our jobs right now.
That's why
maybe in 20 years. I don't know.
Right. No, I think I've learned so much from just starting from scratch. Basically, it's like it's such a good problem solving thing, communication thing, planning thing, and kind of seeing a project through to the end, which, such great lessons from that. And I kind of hope we can collaborate with these kids.
That would
one
be
day.
awesome. Maybe they can teach us some
How to
like
podcast.
interior design on podcasts. You probably
Right.
noticed we switched up our furniture again.
Yeah.
This is a permanent solution though.
Yeah, we got a lot of negative feedback on the couch.
I loved it personally, but maybe a little bit distracting.
If you love the couch, leave it in the comments. You missed the couch.
We're gonna put out a Twitter poll to vote on what kind of furniture we're gonna use in the studio. Look for that.
No, this is definitely a step up. I think it kind of like made us more approachable having a disgusting couch.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So I guess maybe so this is an open invitation. The STEM kids want to help us out, or maybe we can chat with them on the podcast.
It would be awesome.
Come on, let's go.
We need help.
Yeah, help us.
Last week, our Micah Minute, you may have noticed that he didn't quite make the minute.
No.
So previously in the contract I had drawn up for Micah was if you don't make it in a minute, you're fired. You're barred from doing another podcast. But Austin talked me out of it.
Yeah,
So,
talk off the ledge.
so we have coming up to you right now the 5th edition of the Micah Minute.
Hey guys, welcome back to Micah Minute. Hey, I'll let you know All Wise football is out on newsstands right now. Congratulations to Austin Iglesias of Paradise, MVP. Great season by all Wise County teams. Decatur Swim is currently at regionals. They're going to swim at regionals Friday and Saturday, February 2nd and 3rd at Andrews. Northwest ISD recently inducted several members into their first Athletic Hall of Honor class, including Coach Howard Putter, who currently serves as the associate coach of Bridgeport Soccer. VCA boys and girls basketball teams claimed TCAF District 2 championship titles by beating Burton Adventist Academy on Tuesday. Decatur and Crum, Boyd and Paradise, big matchups on Friday, district playoff implications. Softball scrimmages going on right now. Baseball scrimmages will keep going this week. And we have a basketball playoff picture kind of ironing itself out for the girls right now. We have Decatur, Bridgeport, Paradise, Slidell, and VCA. For the boys, we have Decatur, Bridgeport, Boyd, Paradise, Alvord, Slidell, and VCA. Thanks for listening to Micah Minute.
Well, thank you for that important sports update, Micah.
Yeah, way to redeem yourself from last week. We're proud of you. You're back on track.
It's the one thing that the STEM Academy doesn't have.
The Micah Minute.
So, some quick community quick hits.
Yep.
Is that copyrighted? This paper had we dived into some important subjects. Campaign finance was in this week's paper, and then also got to hear a little more from our sheriff's candidates with a questionnaire. I appreciated their responses. They're very thorough, and hopefully people can use that as they're heading to the polls if they want to kind of see where they stand on certain issues. What else we got?
A huge addition in Southwise. The Rome Quick Trip opened up.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, you can always use a good gas station anywhere you are, but, QT is high on my ranking list of gas station. Great food.
An established
great
brand.
drinks. Yeah, and great service as well. So it's exciting for Rome.
It's no Allsups,
No, it's no Sefco.
but we'll take a QT. Great, beautiful photo of the QT from.
Jillian actually killed it on that. It sounds silly saying like how great a QT photo is, but I don't know, the way she framed it up and like the skyline and water tower in the background.
She didn't just show up and go, like she's like, all right.
Took time. Yeah, I think she was gone out of the office for like 2 hours.
You should use it for marketing materials.
Yeah, if anyone wants to, if you're watching this, you want to use that for promos, reach out to us. You can buy it for a hefty price.
Yes, it's not gonna be cheap.
I think the last thing you might have noticed also in the paper of the last couple weeks is we have a new little "Where Are They Now" section. People who grew up in Wise County and either have found success here or somewhere else. People, you can be from anywhere in Wise County or be any age. So this week was Hayden Bennett, son of our GM, Christy Bennett. But it's cool to kind of get. Maybe you forget about, these people after 10 years and then they come across in the paper and it's like, oh my gosh, like I haven't thought about the person in so long. Like I'm glad they're doing well.
Yeah.
So.
Like not everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see, like, oh, that's what they're doing now. Had some guys that, gone into the Air Force or rising up through the ranks at the police departments, outside of here. And maybe one day, I think we got one in the works for a fashion designer in New York. It's a cool, I think it's a good like community newspaper thing. It's like these are people in our community, people care about them. Here's what they're doing now.
Yeah, and if you know of someone that you think would be a good person to feature and where are they now, just shoot us an email at news@wcmessenger.com. Just put where are they now in the subject line, and put the contact information for that person and why you think they'd be a good fit, and we would love to reach out to them and get them in the paper. So, yeah.
All right.
Awesome. I think that is all we have for
it.
this week.
There's no Bryce Elder.
Unfortunately, we tried to get him as a recurring guest, but I think he's kind of busy now.
For the Bryce Elder Power Hour.
Right. All right, guys, that is all we have for you this week. Tune in next week for another episode of Wise Up. See ya.